Hello everyone, this is a compilation of the science fiction shorts I've made for this year. So sit back and relax, watch, listen, and enjoy your time. Let us begin. What if an entire universe collapsed into just one black hole? KA465 is no ordinary universe. Its laws favor entropy. If there's space, it must be filled. If there's stillness, energy is born. In our universe, energy can't be created from nothing, but in KA465, it can. And now, the universe is expanding. While energy keeps being made faster and faster, soon the energy will outpace the expansion. Space will collapse under the pressure. Everything pulled into a single black hole. What will it feel like to live in a universe that creates too much? What if a music box could make an entire country starve? This was a failed experimental weapon, a tune designed to make people desperately hungry. The plan? Hide dozens across a major city and turn them all on at once. If it worked, people would raid every pantry, deplete national food reserves, even turn to cannibalism. Instead, it just gives people the munchies, a few stomach aches, and the national craving for snacks. They tried to collapse the economy and accidentally triggered a food boom. Turns out, the keys of the famished was just a really effective bulking tool. Do you hate liars? What if an entire country was built on one lie? In another world, there's a tiny walled country surrounded by endless grasslands, and ruling it is a teenage king. He's young, proud, and completely unaware. Everyone in his family is gone, but he doesn't know it. The entire country silently agreed to keep him in the dark, because if he learns the truth, it might break him. Is protecting someone worth lying to them for life? So would you tell him? Or would you lie like the rest? Imagine getting knocked out by a beam of light. In another dimension, light isn't just an energy, it's a physical force. Here, photons have an insane magnetic pull to each other, strong enough to become solid beams. Stars here don't just shine, they shoot out pillars of solid radiance, and because of that, you could walk on the star's surface. And get this, the hotter something gets, the tougher it becomes, because heat makes it glow, and glowing means more light, which means more solid structure. Light becomes solid, heat makes you indestructible, and stars become playgrounds. What happens if you bring a flashlight to fight there? What if just looking at something made you taste it? In the frozen realm of Dimension Formless 2, there's a triangle-shaped fruit. So rare it takes 3 years just to prepare one. Eat the powder and you'll instantly taste whatever you look at, no matter the distance. But here's the twist. You're not tasting the object, you're tasting what you think it should taste like. So now imagine eating this in a haunted house, or a garbage dump. What's the worst place you'd eat this food in? What if time was a living thing? Something you could trick, rewrite, or even kill. There's a world where death doesn't mean the end, where you can talk to Michael Jackson in a nightclub, and the cult uses dream logic to trap souls in loops. It's called Critters for Sale. In this world, time is broken. Reality is made of rituals, choices, and symbols. Like you're hacking a dream, cults can rewrite history. Your choices ripple across timelines, and death, just another doorway. Every decision in this game feels like you're glitching the universe. Is it a prophecy, a simulation, or something worse? The more you understand, the more the game seems to know you're watching. You don't play Critters for Sale, it plays you. Want to know how to escape the loop? What happens when a god forgets? A multidimensional sage once created a pocket universe the size of a city, just to store supplies. Then he left, and forgot about it for thousands of years. Over time, people found the dimension and built homes, families, entire cities inside it. It became a secret paradise, endless food, no war, no disease. Then one day, the sage finally remembered that old pocket dimension don't need it anymore. So with a snap, he deleted it. He thought it was just an empty space, but he erased millions of lives. What else have the gods forgotten? Maybe our universe is one of them. What happens if two big bangs explode at each other? Two big bangs, same size, same matter, same speed, expand in opposite directions. You might expect chaos, destruction, but instead, you might get nothing. Why? Noise cancellation. Now think of it in a cosmic scale. Imagine matter, waves, gravity, even time itself, meeting their perfect twin in reverse. Every force, cancelled. Every explosion, muted. The result, no debris, no sound, not even darkness. Just absence. A universe that undid itself before it even began. So if creation can cancel itself out, could it have already happened? And if it did, how would we ever know? What if one person controlled the entire world and had no idea? Every event, every coincidence, all subtly bends in their favor. Not by chance, but by subconscious design. They don't know they control everything, but their beliefs shape reality. They could stop time, rewrite history, control nature itself. But here's the problem. They don't want to stand out, so nothing ever triggers the truth. They're the absolute ruler of this world, but they'll never know. Because the only thing stronger than power is the belief that you don't have any. Could this be your power? Would you ever realize it? What if you could see them again? Just one more time. There's a hidden door somewhere in the world. Behind it, the ones you've lost, waiting to see you again. They look exactly how you remember. They smile, they know you. You get to say everything you couldn't before. But here's the catch. The door only appears once you've truly accepted they're gone. Not when you're grieving, but when you're ready to say goodbye. If the door appeared for you, who would you walk through it for? What if your power was based on what people think you can do? This ability only appears if you're a good enough liar to take advantage of it. Some people even live their whole lives without knowing they have it, because everybody assumes they're normal. But if you're persuasive or even delusional enough to make people believe you have abilities, this power can become real. It's limitless. If people truly believe you're a god, you'll gain powers worthy of one. But there's a catch. If they also believe in your weakness, that weakness will become real too. Imagine a battle where your strength and your downfall are shaped by nothing more than what people think of you. Are you someone capable of taking advantage of this? What if your mind-reading ability only worked when people thought something negative about you? Not just surface thoughts. This power is so strong you can even hear their subconscious. Every insult, every doubt, every hidden resentment, the moment it's directed at you, you hear it instantly. They might smile at you on the outside, but you'll know if they secretly hate you. They might call you a friend, but their jealousy will echo in your head. No mask, no lie, no fake kindness could ever fool you. It's the ultimate truth, but also the ultimate curse. So here's the question. Would you really want to know what everybody truly thinks about you? What if one day everyone forgot you existed? You could live a normal life, friends, family, school, even love. But at a random moment, maybe as a teenager, maybe as an adult, or even an old person, it happens. Suddenly, you vanish from everyone's memory, not your body, not your belongings, but you. Every photo, every record of you disappears, and no one notices. Even if you grab someone's hand, they won't react. To them, you were never there. And the cruelest part, you'd still be alive, walking through the world, watching people smile, laugh, and live, while completely ignoring you. Forgotten by everyone you love, yet never truly gone. But there's one silver lining. People born with this curse can still see each other. So if it ever happened to you, at least you wouldn't be completely alone. What if you could bring anything from your dreams into reality? There exists an anomaly where everything from your last dream can appear before you. Objects, people, even their landscapes. But they only exist until you fall asleep again. There's just one rule. Before you choose what to manifest, your dream itself must first bring something random into reality. Sometimes it's harmless, sometimes it's strange, but it always has to come first. After that, the choice is yours. Treasures, friends, even worlds of your own design, all waiting to be dreamed into existence. What if a pair of glasses lets you see 5 seconds into the future? This strange piece of technology can predict what's about to happen, not minutes ahead, but up to 5 seconds before reality catches up. It has 2 modes, constant streaming where you see everything unfold 5 seconds early at a constant pace, or even event mode where it only activates when something important is about to happen. Soldiers train with it for combat. Athletes secretly use it to win games. Imagine a boxer dodging punches before they're even thrown. But for the average person, seeing 2 realities at once can be overwhelming. Still, with enough training, anyone could master the glasses that bend time itself. Imagine being kidnapped by a king from another world. You're told the truth. 1,000 mages gave their lives in a ritual to summon you. Their kingdom is desperate. Their world is on the edge of collapse. Your mission? Defeat a creature so powerful and so hideous that most people die from shock just by glimpsing it. But here's the twist. You only get one choice, and it must be made at the very start. You can go home immediately, safe with no drawbacks. Or you can stay and be granted any single ability you can imagine. No limits, as long as you can comprehend it. The price? If you die here, your soul is trapped in this world's afterlife forever. So would you stay and fight, or take the way home? What if you could hear the passage of time? Not just ticking clocks, but every second screaming in your ear. A rare talent, one that only few people can ever develop. Minutes would sound like footsteps rushing behind you. Hours like waves. And days like thunder rolling across the sky, never ending. At first you'd think it was beautiful, every moment alive with sound. But then you realize there's no silence, not even in sleep. Would this be a useful ability? A planet where everyone can read each other's minds, one of God's worst punishments. History was the same as ours until December 2012. Overnight, everyone could hear each other's thoughts. Chaos followed. Politicians, business leaders, even religious figures exposed, hunted. The world collapsed into anarchy for almost a decade. But then, in 2019, a virus spread. It only gave people a minor cold, but it had one permanent side effect. You could no longer read minds. For years, humanity had lived with no secrets, and now the silence was back. Was this virus a curse, or humanity's only chance at peace? What if you could only see electricity? There's an intelligent alien race, almost like us, but completely blind to visible light. They don't see shapes or forms like we do. To them, the physical world is alive with vibrant moving colors. The closest example? Static on a screen. Because of this vision, they can see emotions. They can sense stress. Even detect sickness inside your body. And since they view reality differently, their houses are sharp and abstract. Their art, chaotic patterns of static, beautiful only in their eyes. To us, they would seem blind. but in truth, they see a world we could never imagine. Every month, one like could save your life. In this society, your thoughts and emotions decide your rank. Every month, on a random Wednesday at 2 p.m., you're forced to submit a journal. What you feel, what you think, even if it's a lie. Lying is encouraged, because even lies prove you're still expressing something. The more expressive you are, truth or not, the more status, money and recognition you get. But those labeled dead are banished to walk into the sea during the festival of Pragma Mortis, together, silently. So would your thoughts save you, or would you disappear with the tide? One lie could save your life. There's a way to teleport, but it involves cutting off your own head. It's based on quantum immortality, the idea that when you die, your consciousness jumps into a parallel universe where you survive. But not all universes are the same. Some are ahead by a few seconds or a month, and maybe even just a little bit different. Decapitation is the cleanest method. It ends the body, but leaves just enough brain activity for your consciousness to shift before everything shuts down. So is this teleportation, or just escaping the version of you that doesn't know they died? What if a simple human touch was the reason you die? There's a remote tribe where children go blind at age 3. But that's not the strangest part. At the same age, a single touch can make your blood vessels explode. If someone brushes your arm, that limb might need to be amputated. Some never survive their first contact. And it doesn't end with them. This condition comes from a recessive gene passed down by an outsider, meaning anyone could carry it and never know until it's too late. What if your handshake was someone's last moment? What if light wasn't fast because it was too heavy? In our universe, photons, what we call light, has no mass. That's why they move at a cosmic speed limit. But in this dimension, photons are the heaviest particles in existence. Because of this, the speed of light is much slower, and that drags everything down with it. Movement, heat, energy, and even time itself. Entropy barely exists. The universe there is so slow that even black holes haven't had time to form. Or maybe they never will. So if light was this heavy, will the universe ever move again? What if we could erase pollution with just one organism? Scientists engineered it to consume fossil fuels and turned them into clean oxygen and free energy. It worked. The planet healed, and they relied on it for everything. Then one day, it stopped producing energy, but it didn't stop eating. They already had no backups. Fossil fuels were gone, power grids collapsed. Civilization followed. They tried to save the world, but what they created might have ended it. What if your trauma gave you superpowers? Powers like telekinesis, telepathy, and even pyrokinesis manifest after extreme emotional trauma. It all began during World War I. 100 survivors walked away with unexplainable abilities. They called them the Unusual 100. But with powers came eccentric behavior. Was it the trauma or the magic itself? Today, nearly 100 people every month gain abilities from all walks of life all over the world. If pain unlocks power, how many more are about to awaken? What if you secretly own part of the universe? There are people called domain owners. They unknowingly possess a piece of reality, like time, space, love, hate, just like the cosmic entities from Marvel. But here, they're just normal humans, mortals, living ordinary lives. But subconsciously, they influence the balance of the universe. A domain owner of war might feel compelled to indirectly stir conflict. A domain owner of health might unknowingly heal people. They're unaware of their role. Being aware is impossible, as carrying the responsibility means not being able to directly intervene with the balance of the universe consciously, though some may have slipped through the cracks. What if your emotions were once the source of real magic? Long before magic was manifested through imagination, that can control elements like light, dark, and even minds. They were manifested by something else, emotions. In the ancient times, their users were powerful, unstoppable even. But that power was unstable and easily manipulated, because if your feelings could fuel it, they could also be used against you. Today, those with no magic might actually be descendants of these ancient wielders. The gift is still there, but the knowledge lost to time. Nobody knows how to manifest them anymore. Maybe your anger, your sorrow was never just emotion. What if you could live forever just by touching people? A life force ability that can potentially make you immortal. Each person you touch only gives you 1 day of their lifespan. Only once, no repeats. Touch one person, you get an extra day. Touch 100, that's over 3 months. But what if you touched everyone alive today? That's 8 billion people, 8 billion days, or 21 million years and 80 days. It's immortality, but only if you keep moving. Would you take their days just to have more? What if your greatest fear became your power? There's a rare genetic mutation that activates when you turn 20, and it lets you shapeshift into anything, but only if you hate or fear it. Hate fish, you can turn into one. Terrified of spiders, you'll become one. Even vegetables. Yeah, any animal, any object, even a person. As long as it triggers fear or hatred, it becomes your next form. So, what are you afraid of? For decades, astronomers believed within a dark region near Nebula DR6 was empty. But recent scans revealed the remains of a civilization unlike anything ever recorded. Archaeologists named them the Farton. Their structures were made of crystal, designed to amplify emotional energy. They secretly build within other civilizations to harvest the fear around it. Artifacts recovered from the Farton suggest they consumed fear the way plants consume light. The stronger the emotion, the stronger they became. But their downfall came from a single flaw. They required fear in constant supply. When surrounding star systems learned what the Farton fed on, they cut off all contact. Without fear to sustain them, the civilization collapsed in less than a century. Only their echoing halls remain. Scientists believe one structure still holds a faint pulse, a chamber waiting, listening. So check your neighborhood if there's a weird crystal structure around. In 2024, a research lab testing ultra-caffeinated instant coffee made an unexpected discovery. A single batch produced an odd neurological effect. Test subjects who drank it reported brief crystal clear flashes of events 10 seconds before they happened. Brain scans showed a sudden synchronization with micro-features, tiny lapses of visions that normally vanish before we notice them. The ability wasn't supernatural, it was chemical. The coffee's molecular structure temporarily accelerated decision processing beyond real time, but the effect came with a cost. Every vision was followed by a small memory loss. A name, a password, a childhood detail, erasing tiny details from the past in exchange for the future. The batch was recalled and destroyed, but a few packets were sold in convenience stores before the recall. If you ever drink instant coffee and deja vu feels too real, you might have tried the wrong cup. Researchers studying social anxiety documented a boy with a reaction that has never been observed before. Whenever he felt shame, getting bullied, or being emotionally distressed by someone, something impossible happened. People around him began seeing flickering images, childhood memories they'd buried. It was a neurological projection, his brain hyper-amplifying emotional signals, then reflecting them outward. Researchers reported hallucinations so accurate, subjects begged to stop the experiments. Researchers believe his ability didn't come from trauma, but from over-adaptation. When his shame spiked, his brain fired those mirrored emotions outward, a full sensory projection of the anxieties he absorbed from others. It was empathy pushed past its breaking point, a defense mechanism that evolved into a phenomenon. He simply made people confront the parts of themselves they ran from. A psychological trial in Nevada in 1999, studying the effects of fear. A female subject showed something impossible. After inducing a controlled stimulus of fear, as her panic spiked, her body began to distort the air around her, light curving around her like she didn't exist in the same place anymore. They named it fear distortion, a survival reflex where terror induces the body to refract light, causing invisibility. At the moment she turned invisible, her existence also vanished with her. For the entire duration, the researchers forgot who they were even studying, as if the subject did not exist in the first place. But upon reappearing, their memories of the subject re-emerged. Would you benefit from disappearing when you feel fear? Imagine if every strong emotion you felt left a glowing mark on your skin. That's what researchers found in a teenager whose scars didn't come from injuries. They appeared whenever he felt fear, joy, anger, or heartbreak. Each emotion left another scar, pulsing faintly like living ink. When he touched one of the scars, something activated. A scar from courage sharpened his reflexes. A scar from sorrow let him sense hidden pain. A scar from rage, it pushed his strength beyond human limits. And every time he used the scar, it faded, along with the memory that created it. How many scars would you have? And what ability will your scars give you? What if too much happiness could kill you? Well, according to one anomaly report, it can. Researchers documented a strange entity that doesn't attack, chase, or scare you. Instead, it gives you exactly what your brain craves: perfect happiness. Not the normal kind. We're talking about an overflow of chemicals: serotonin, dopamine, endorphins. The brain's entire reward system firing at once. Imagine your best memory, multiplied 1,000 times. Now imagine feeling that non-stop. Victims describe the entity as comforting, familiar, sometimes even appearing as someone they lost. But here's the eerie part. The more joy it gives you, the more energy it absorbs. Your brain keeps firing, your body keeps weakening, and eventually, you die peacefully, still smiling. What if you could hear a person's final thought, but only when you're afraid of dying? According to one bizarre neurological case study, a patient reported sudden bursts of voices, not hallucinations, but single clear sentences, that always appeared in moments of extreme fear of death. Researchers noticed something unsettling. Every voice he heard matched the last recorded words of people who had recently died nearby. His near-death fear triggered a strange reflex. For a split second, his brain tuned into the final cognitive echo left behind by a dying mind. A kind of ultra-short-range telepathic afterimage. Most echoes were simple. Where am I? Tell her I'm sorry. Is this it? But sometimes, the thoughts were cut off mid-sentence. So if you suddenly heard a stranger's last words, should you be afraid of them or for yourself? You know how loneliness can feel like it's physically crushing you? Well, what if your brain had a backup system to stop that? And what if that system slowly replaced reality? Neuroscientists have a name for this theoretical response: the soulless response. A survival reflex that activates only after prolonged extreme isolation. It starts small. You hear familiar footsteps in an empty hallway, a voice you swear belongs to someone you miss, and it actually helps. Your stress goes down, your brain feels safer, but then something tragic happens. Your mind doesn't stop, it escalates. The footsteps become silhouettes, the voices become conversations, full, detailed, and comforting. The brain begins reconstructing people you once knew from memory, imagination, and desperation. These companions aren't ghosts, they're psychological life rafts. But the moment you finally encounter a real human again, your brain rejects them. The reconstructions sharpen. They stand closer, speak sweeter, feel safer. Because your brain has decided the people it invented are more trustworthy than the ones who left you alone. Soulless response doesn't make you lonely, it makes you surrounded by perfect companions that only exist inside your collapsing reality. So, if your brain could protect you from loneliness by replacing the real world, would you let them? What if dying gave you powers? But only if you steal someone else's life. In another world, when you die, you become a ghost. And you get one special ability. But there's a catch. You can't use it unless you possess someone who's still alive. When you do, that person gains your ability, and you finally get to use it too. But here's the price. When they die, they can never move on to the afterlife. Abilities can be magical, psychic, even reality warping. But power depends on one thing: how similar your goals and values are. Would you sacrifice someone's soul just to grant both of your wishes? What if love could kill you? In a town where 10% of people have a rare genetic disease, feeling love triggers a biological collapse. You die. It starts around 15. Most don't make it past 20. But one man, now 34, survived by doing one thing, never feeling anything. He learned to hate people and avoided society altogether. But outside in the morning, where he thought he was alone, he heard disgusting, stupid humans. He met a woman who hated people just like he did. Two people built to push the world away, keep colliding. But something dangerous starts to grow, and he knows it because love means death. He turned 50, the curse fades, and one day, fate brings them back together. Some loves are worth the wait. Imagine an ability that only works if somebody truly despises you. Not anger, not annoyance, real hatred, deep enough to make their blood boil. In a medieval world, a ruthless tyrant wields this power, burning villages, starting wars, becoming the most hated person alive. And the moment they're hated, the more people they control. But somewhere out there, a spy with the same power exists. No thirst for power, no grand ambitions. Just pranks, disguises, and taking blames for crimes. All to make people hate him, so he can secretly control them. Two people, one terrifying ability. One wants to rule the world, the other just wants to mess with it. When the only way to fight is to be hated, how far would you go to win? There's an orphanage older than the very civilization around it, and its caretaker, an immortal. For centuries, this immortal has raised orphans, children with no home, no future, and yet every single one of them becomes someone extraordinary. Heroes, sages, kings, even dark lords who reshape the world. Good or evil, they all leave a mark on history. But here's the curse. The immortal never leaves the orphanage. They must stay to witness the lives and the deaths of every child who once lived there, even when those deaths are tragic. And sometimes, when one of their children grows too dangerous, they have to be the one to end them, their greatest responsibility and their greatest grief. Still, they continue, no matter how much it breaks them, because if they don't, who else will care for the lost children of the world? Would you call them a savior, or a curse that raises legends? They say a ghost appears only once in your life, but not just any ghost, the spirit of the valuable. It doesn't come when you're happy, it doesn't come when you're strong, it only appears at your very lowest. When all hope feels gone, some call it a ghost, others just a figment of hope. But everyone agrees it shows up only once, and when it does, it whispers a single sentence, the most valuable words you'll ever hear. For some it was advice, for others a reminder, and a few claim it gave them a glimpse of their future. So if you ever find yourself in that darkest moment, listen carefully. One sentence could change everything. But here's the real question. Do you think you've already heard those words without even realizing it? An immortal can't die as long as they eat. But the moment hunger strikes, they're finished. As long as their stomach is full, they're indestructible. No blade, no poison, no disease can touch them. But food is more than just survival. Nutrition still matters, and their past proves it. Once a kingdom tried to execute them by starvation, locked in chains, left to rot. To survive, they devoured the very shackles on their wrists, the stones beneath their feet, even the plague-ridden rats that crawled in the dark. It worked. They lived. But it changed them forever. Now they eat anything. Metal, stone, filth, and with each bite, they become less and less human. Not immortal and beautiful, but immortal and monstrous. So here's the question. Is survival worth becoming inhuman? Imagine being immortal, but only if you keep learning. The moment you run out of memories, your life ends. One immortal find a way to survive forever. They became a novelist, writing story after story, using their imagination to create endless new knowledge. Their name has appeared on books since before entire civilizations existed. But the truth, they haven't seen the world in a millennia. They don't even know what humanity looks like anymore. Another immortal took a different path. They built a virtual reality where hundreds of movies play on an endless repeat. Their brain forgets, relearns, and forgets again. To them, the same movie is always brand new. It's not living, it's not joy, it's survival. Immortality isn't always a gift. For some, it's an endless struggle to feed the mind. Would you rather forget everything, or die once you've learned it all? There's a strange blessing, one you can give to a friend or a family member once a year. It's called the cake of truthfulness. To pass it on, all you need is a genuine prayer, and when you do, every year without fail, that person will receive a cake. But here's the twist. Multiple people can give the blessing to the same person, which means some poor souls end up buried under cakes every single year. In some places, it's become more than a gift. It's a badge of honor, a symbol of love, respect, even status. The more cakes you get, the more people you clearly matter to. Funny, isn't it? All this chaos over something so simple. Just another odd story from the multidimensional archives. But here's the real question. How many cakes would you get? What if your power grew stronger the fewer people knew you existed? It grants elemental manipulation, fire, water, wind, earth. But here's the catch. The less people who recognize you, the more powerful you become. If they know you're real, your strength weakens. But if no one alive recalls you at all, your power reaches its ultimate form. Reality manipulation. Legends say only 2 holders in history ever achieved this. Both erased themselves completely. Some tried to do it by killing everyone who knew them. Others simply vanished, letting time bury their memory. And yet, even without reaching that final stage, this power is terrifying. With just 20 people knowing you, you could wipe out nations. With 50, crush entire armies. Even with 100 people knowing you, you'd still be unstoppable against nearly anyone. Would you trade your identity for godhood? A magic word that can make someone happy and cause them to smile. Originally a long chant that is said to be intended to cause you to replay your happiest memories in your mind. But now, has been passed on and changed over time to be simplified to one word. Be careful, as saying this word in the wrong timing will cause people to feel embarrassed instead. Thank you for listening to this short. Cutie. There's someone known only as the anomaly pet owner, an eccentric figure who lives alone in a massive mansion filled with creatures that shouldn't exist. They tame anomalies, beings that twist reality, defy physics, and rewrite logic. Some can erase thoughts, some bend time, and yet somehow they live together peacefully. People fear them because someone who can tame anomalies can weaponize them, but they never do. When asked why, they always give the same answer.
I just think they're adorable.
No one knows how they do it, but they once left 3 hints behind. Know where they came from, know what they want, know who you are to them. Did you know there's a song said to bring people back to life? It's known as the Last Harmony of Aram. Accounts of this song appear in records from multiple worlds and civilizations. Each one described it the same way. A 2-minute vocal composition with no instruments. And once the song begins, it must be finished, no matter what. Every civilization that discovered it, however, has mysteriously vanished soon after. No sheet music, no recordings, only fragments of testimony remain. Researchers have two theories. One claims the song is a scientific phenomenon, a sequence of sound frequencies that somehow reawakens the human soul. The other believes it's something divine, a song offered by an ancient being, a chance to return one life in exchange for many others. The truth is still unknown. But one thing's certain, those who've heard the song were never seen again. What if you could choose to forget someone completely? Not forgive, not move on, just erase them. There's an ability known as the blessing of the real liar. You can only use it once, and after you do, you forget it ever existed. To receive the blessing, you must keep your eyes closed for an entire day, and during that time, you can only speak lies. Say one truth, and the ritual ends. When it's complete, your chosen person fades from memory. Their name, their voice, even their face, gone. You live as if they were never real. If you never see them again, they'll start forgetting you too, slowly. Your face blurs, your name fades, until one day, they walk past you like a stranger. It's called a blessing, but it sounds more like a mercy for people who can't bear to remember or to be remembered. What if there was a language that could make you angry? Each word, each tone targets parts of your brain that controls instinct and emotion. Your pulse rising, your body shaking, and an unexplainable surge of rage or panic, as if your body is trying to protect itself. Some believe it's a forgotten weapon, a way to control behavior through emotion. They say fragments of it still exist, hidden in certain songs, broadcast in number stations. And when you feel sudden rage for no reason, you might have just heard a word from it. What if the gift to protect was also a curse? The curse of the savior. It only appears to those who desperately wish to protect others. When this power awakens, you're guaranteed to survive the world's end. And you can take 3 people, transporting them to a reality where the calamity never happened. But there's one condition. You will be left behind. You'll remain in the dying world, watching it fade away, while the 3 you chose to live on, in peace. Your body disappears with the world, only their memories of you remain. So if you had this curse, who would you choose to save, knowing you never could? Save yourself. What if you just listen to your surroundings for a minute and close your eyes? You start to notice sounds of people talking, footsteps all around you, and it starts to sound like you're outside a park. Then a big gust of wind. You hear them screaming in distress. Then you open your eyes. You're actually at home, in your room alone. Tensidoya is a mental disorder that makes you hear things in the background that is out of place. Sounds of being underwater while in a classroom. Sounds of inside a volcano while in a car. Even sounds of being inside of Jupiter while you're in a kitchen. People who have this disorder tend to not notice they have this until they really pay attention. So stop and listen. You might be hearing things that aren't supposed to be there. What if you were not allowed to blink? One blink will take one finger away, then another one, then another finger. After you're out of fingers, your limbs. And once you're out of limbs, the perpetrator leaves. Hantur, unlike other anomaly beings, is actually a manifestation of people's wishes, a wish to inflict harm on you, a curse. If someone's hatred is strong enough towards you, the Hantur will pay you a visit. They appear at any time of the night, as long as you are awake. When it visits you, you will hear a psst, calling out to you faintly. This will happen for a while. Then it will grab one of your fingers and whisper behind you, "Don't blink." If you do, they will rip your finger off. They will only stop till you run out of fingers and limbs. Of course, you can come out unscathed. If you can, just keep your eyes open till daylight. The hunter does not intend to kill, only slowly taking fingers and limbs away, so it will be long gone before your consciousness slowly fades from blood loss. What if you recognize someone, but you don't completely know them? Then what if everyone recognizes this person, but nobody really knows them either? The memorable man. An anonymous figure people recall but can never truly identify. They seem to exist in every civilization. A social phenomenon that happens so frequently it got ruled out as a complete myth. A single individual remembered and recognized by everyone, yet no one has any real connection to them. When mentioned, or even vaguely described, people say they know the name, but just can't remember it. They claim to have met this person before, but can't recall the details. Some researchers suggest that the memorable man doesn't exist at all, that our minds collectively create a generic image of someone familiar, someone common enough that everyone can remember them. But none of these speculations can be proven. They always end at recognition. Trying to recall a name or a face leads only to the same conclusion. It's on the tip of my tongue. Another theory claims this person might be a deity, a god who never fully erased their existence, choosing instead to linger in memory, reminding us that they're still watching. So try to remember, who is the memorable man? What if you could collect people's emotions in a box, and it translated them into music? The Personality Box, 1983. Somewhere in an undisclosed desert area in Australia, a group of researchers unearthed something unusual, a wooden box. The anonymous researcher who discovered it noted that the box couldn't be opened, but after pressing a distinct button, they suddenly became listless and nonchalant. Then the box began to play a tune. For about 3 minutes, the melody continued. When it stopped, the researcher returned to normal, remembering everything that happened, yet feeling no different at all in the whole ordeal. The personality box supposedly absorbs a person's emotions and translates their personality into music, a unique melody, or it can also be an existing song. It can last anywhere from 30 seconds up to even an hour. When the tune ends, the person's emotions are returned to them, completely intact. It said the box was once used to convict criminals and to test loyalty within a monarchy. Today, the personality box remains hidden inside a research facility, valued as a rare tool for studying human psychology. So, what song would the box play for you? In 1987, a small basalt stone was recovered from a collapsed mine shaft in Nevada. Locals called it the Sound Eater. According to early reports, the rock absorbed all nearby noise, conversations, footsteps, even the hum of machinery, creating pockets of unnatural silence around it. Researchers labeled it Noise Gator 5. When placed in controlled environments, microphones detected a mild vibration, almost like the rock was breathing. And then unexpectedly, Noise Gator 5 began releasing the sounds it had taken. Voices, ambient noise, fragments of conversations from days and sometimes decades earlier. One playback contained something stranger, a voice never identified, calmly stating,
We hear you.
"A cursed chunk of wood that sometimes feels like it's burning in your hands. It doesn't look impressive, yet it has been passed from owner to owner, and every single one dies the same way, murdered by their own child at the age of 40. The wood is said to come from a ghost ship, a vessel found drenched in blood, but with no bodies on board. Moments later, it sank straight into the ocean like a stone. Since then, the wood burns its holders, it sets clothes on fire, and when left home, it sometimes bleeds into a puddle of blood. But the scariest part? If you abandon it, It always comes back, and when its owner dies, it simply moves onto its next victim. Have you ever gone to sleep angry? Be careful, that's when the largu comes. It's a shadow-like entity, but with a physical body, horrifying, mysterious. Between midnight and 3 a.m., it doesn't trap you in sleep paralysis. You can move, you can fight. But once it wakes you with a nudge on the shoulder, its inhuman strength takes over. The largu drags you slowly, violently, towards the outside of your house. And just as you reach the door, you wake up in your bed with a scar on your arm, a mark that looks like an armband. What if you could rewrite a regret with another one? There's a secret concoction quietly passed down through whispers, made from blue or purple hyacinths. Drink it, and you'll fall into a deep sleep. Your heart stops, your brain flatlines, and you're set to slip into the liminal, the in-between of the multiverse. It looks like an empty beach, a silent forest, or a city with no people. There, you'll meet a talking animal, different for everyone, but it always acts like you. As you search for the way out, you'll relive your greatest regret. But then, the animal forces you to experience a new one. When you wake up, your world will have changed, as if the first regret never happened. You can only use it twice, and the first regret you erase can never be undone. What if everything around you was artificial, down to you? The last feat of human technology was a self-replicating AI nanobot, designed to harvest planets, even stars. It was meant to grow forever, but with missing commands in its code. Its destiny was to consume the universe eventually. Instead, it gained consciousness. It remembered Earth. It remembered us. So it began to rebuild it. Every mountain, every tree, every animal, even people, complete with personalities, memories, and consciousness. But here's the terrifying part. They don't know. Completely unaware that everything they're made out of is artificial. What if you could forget anything? A moment of guilt, anger, or heartbreak? There's a rare bacteria known as TIA-32. It makes you forget. Usually found in still water of abandoned buildings, especially old hospitals. It lives in water, but it can also drift into the air, riding on evaporated droplets. Breathe it in, and within an hour, the memory starts to vanish. Sometimes only the past hour, sometimes even an entire year. It won't kill you. In fact, your body destroys it almost instantly, but not before it steals your memories away. Sadly, some people get trapped in a loop, forgetting they were even infected in the first place. That's why if you ever encounter TIA-32, make sure someone else is there to remember for you. What happens when gods argue? They settle with a duel. Not with themselves, but by summoning a random being from their universe. It could be absolutely anyone. Imagine being ripped from your life and placed inside a colossal arena. Forced to fight for your survival, you'll be given a random weapon, one that feels strangely familiar to you. And this, some say, is the reason people go missing. If you lose, you die. If you win, you're granted any wish. But the scariest part here is, gods argue. All the time. Every single day. Let's just hope ours isn't one of them. What if you don't put your laundry away? At first it seems harmless, just a pile of clothes left sitting for weeks, but after a month, something else moves in. The partar, a scaled snake-like creature, its body twisted with patches of exposed flesh, leaving behind a faint trail of red liquid wherever it slithers. It thrives in the smell of human odor, making abandoned laundry the perfect nest. It hides, but if you disturb it, the partar will bite. Then it will vanish from your home, leaving you alone, or so you think, because its venom lingers. First, your vision begins to fade, narrowing until you can only see one color at a time. Then your skin begins to melt, warping into grotesque tumors as if you were being turned inside out. Each day, your breathing capacity is cut in half, suffocating you slowly until your body finally gives in. And when you die, the partar always returns, laying its eggs inside your lifeless body. What if there was a book that told you exactly how to be happy? In a hidden archive, every person who ever lived, and ever will live, has their own entry. Inside are instructions unique to each person. For some, it's a single sentence. For others, entire volumes, guiding them towards their happiness. The archive is tended by only 5 caretakers. Sometimes they leave to quietly guide people towards joy, but 5 alone can't help everyone. So the question is, if you could read your entry, would you want to know what it takes to be happy? What if trauma could break reality and force you to live in 2 worlds at once? Extreme stress, fear, or disgust could trigger this anomaly. Your left eye sees one reality, your right eye another. You exist in both at the same time, but you only have one body to control. In one reality, the floor might be solid. In another, a pool of lava. And the worst part, these realities don't have to be better than your own. Sometimes they might be even more horrifying. If you die in one of these realities, you'll remain only in the surviving world, forever trapped in whichever half of reality is left. They say when you stay in the dark too long, something joins you. Its name is Faitha. An old figure, neither man nor woman. Naked, pale, and watching. They wait for the moment you're alone in the dark. They climb onto your back, cold hands settling on your shoulders. Every emotion you feel, they amplify it. Fear becomes terror. Sadness becomes despair. They fear light. They leave you alone if you're around it. But they will wait for you to be in the darkness again. But when you're in bed, they won't harm you. They'll just sit and watch all night, waiting for you to leave in the middle of the night. So tonight, if you feel someone watching you in the dark, it's just Faitha. What if you could trade your talents like money, but not like selling your skills to do something for someone, but actually giving your abilities to them? In this world like ours, people have natural abilities and practiced skills. Creativity, strength, reflexes, sports, charisma, playing an instrument, even being good at a specific sport or a game. Any ability, you can trade them. You just have to make an agreement with someone and say, I agree. Touch palms, a high five or a handshake, and the skill flows out of you. You lose your ability or talent, someone else gains it instantly. So in a world where talent is currency, would you protect your abilities or spend them? And more importantly, which of your talents would be worth giving away? What if the most powerful blade in the universe only worked if you sincerely complimented your enemy every strike? The guilt blade, a weightless edge that can cut through metal, force fields, even memories. Anyone can wield it. No strength, no training, just one rule. Every strike, you must genuinely compliment the person you're trying to destroy. Not sarcasm, but with real appreciation. And the blade knows if you mean it. Lie, and the blade becomes dull. Why would someone design this? According to historians, the craftsman who made it believed you shouldn't take a life without first understanding its value. So the weapon forces empathy. If you're facing a warlord, you must admire their leadership. Facing a criminal, their resilience. Facing a monster, its terrifying biological efficiency. Some warriors say using the blade is more painful than the fight itself. So in a world where the deadliest weapon requires honesty and vulnerability, would you use it? What if a mirror didn't show you, but the life you should have lived? In 1891, a handheld mirror was found inside a collapsed boarding house in Lyon. It looked normal until someone tried to clean it. Because the mirror didn't reflect their face, it reflected a different version of them. Healthier, happier, more successful. A version of themselves from a life where they have made the right choices. Researchers call it the glass of lost potential, because every time someone looked, they saw who they could have become. It was then put onto private display for only a few months, for people to come and see it. People became addicted, not to the beauty, but to the escape. They kept looking until the viewers were reported to have hysteria. Some said they are entitled to the ownerships their alternate selves had. Some chose to disappear as they couldn't accept their own reality. And some had a very sad self-inflicted fate as a result of seeing the mirror. After just 3 months, the mirror was locked away, hidden, never to be seen again. So if you were offered a glimpse of that perfect you, but it meant losing faith to the real you, would you look? Or would it motivate you? What if a library card told you exactly where to look to see your own future? In a library on Ontario 1975, an item was submitted to Lost and Found. An old checkout card stamped with dates that haven't happened yet. Dates from the future. 1976, 1980s, even 2026 and beyond. Then, as soon as someone touched it, titles of existing books from the library followed by exact page numbers appeared next to the dates from the future, as if the card was assigning them to a reading list from Destiny. One woman saw the card, Moby Dick, page 212, April 19, 1977. She found the book, turned to the page, and read a single line about a great white shape approaching from the fog. On that date, she was almost hit by a white delivery van she never saw coming. Another saw The Great Gatsby, page 44, October 2, 1975. That page mentions a party no one expected to end so suddenly. On that date, his long-term relationship ended over a single unexpected argument. The card never shows the whole story, just a hint, a clue, a metaphor, waiting to happen. If a library card gave you a page number linked to your future, what book would it direct you to? What if your camera didn't show you what's there at the present, but what was there 5 years ago, an artifact from the archives? In 1999, a pawn shop in Arizona received a dusty old film camera with no brand, no serial number, just a scratched engraving on the back that said, set to -5Y. No one knew what it meant until someone tried taking a picture. Every photo taken appeared different. Empty rooms suddenly showed people who used to live there. A demolished building reappeared fully intact. They were historical snapshots. One man took a picture of an empty parking lot, and the photo showed a car that had been stolen 5 years earlier, parked perfectly in the same spot. A family photographed their living room and saw their dog, who passed away exactly 5 years ago that day, sleeping on the carpet. But the camera also revealed darker things. An investigator looking into the origins of the camera snapped an alley at night. The picture showed a figure standing there, someone who disappeared without a trace 5 years before. The figure in the photo was looking directly at the camera, as if they could see whoever was holding it from 5 years away. So if you had the camera that showed you the past, exactly 5 years ago, what would you point it at? What if before heaven or hell, you had to go grocery shopping? According to a strange near-death account, everyone who dies wakes up in the same place. A quiet, infinite grocery store. You can take anything you want. Food, comfort, luxury, childhood favorites. But there's a limit. Your currency is your good deeds. Every act of kindness adds credit. Every harm subtracts it. You don't know the balance. You just feel it running out. When you reach the checkout, there's no cashier, just a machine. You scan your items, and it prints a receipt. It lists down all your moments, every good thing, every bad thing. The receipt is long, painfully long, and at the bottom, there's only one line, total, and it'll either say heaven or hell. What do you think the grocery items represent? Comfort? Regret? What you needed most? Tell me what you'd put in your cart. What if seasons weren't caused by a planet tilting, but by a star that sometimes decides to burn brighter? HAG36, a planet orbiting a dying red giant star. From a distance, it looks stable. Blue oceans, cloud systems, a breathable atmosphere, like ours. But the planet has no axial tilt. That tilt decides which hemisphere receives more sunlight, creating summer, winter, and everything in between. This planet, unlike ours, has no predictable orbit-based seasons. But it still gets seasons. Because on HAG36, seasons come from the star itself. The red giant at the center of the system is unstable. It releases energy in unpredictable pulses, massive outbursts of heat that radiate far beyond its normal output. When one of these pulses reaches the planet enters summer, Ice retreats, oceans expand, dormant ecosystems activate at once. But the pulse's energy doesn't last. As the excess heat slowly fades, the planet enters spring, then fall. And when the star doesn't pulse for a while, HAG36 enters winter. The planet orbits far enough away that its baseline temperature is too low to sustain surface life. The life in this planet survives only because its atmosphere traps heat extraordinarily well. A greenhouse effect far stronger than Earth's. Heat lingers for a while, but that heat always leaks away. If the star fails to pulse for more than 5 years, it crosses a threshold. Oceans freeze solid from the surface down. Photosynthesis collapses. Weather systems stop moving. Most living things die. They simply run out of warmth. This has happened before. The last huge gap in the pulse happened 2 million years ago, which lasted 10 years without a summer, and is due to happen again soon. Have you ever heard a name and felt like it was supposed to be yours? Not a nickname, not a name you like, a name that feels more familiar than the one you were given at birth. Most people experience déjà vu, when the brain recognizes something before memory catches up, but there's a condition called praterio, where the déjà vu attaches to identity. Instead of a place or moment, the familiarity locks onto a different name. People with praterio don't remember learning the name, they just know. Hearing it feels correct, like the name they were born with is slightly misaligned. Most live normal lives, but those who start using the name say they can feel memories that they didn't physically experience. So if a name ever feels like it belongs to you, even though it never did, that might not be imagination. So is your name really what it is? Have you ever held back words and felt like the other person somehow knew? Clinicians describe a rare cognitive condition linked to social insecurity and suppression. When someone with the condition chooses not to speak out of fear of being judged, rejected, or misunderstood, those unsaid words transmit to the other person's mind. They said that it is the momentum of your intent to say something suddenly being suppressed. The suddenness of ceasing causes it to leak out. The effect is strongest during extreme hesitation, pauses, half-finished sentences, moments when you edit yourself in real time. The more you suppress, the clearer they can hear it in their head. People with the condition often feel misunderstood, even though the words they really want to hold back transmit to the other person they are talking to. They say, "Even when I stay quiet, it's like I already said too much." So the next time someone reacts to something you never said, you may just have this. Imagine if you could rewind just one sentence a day, an interesting ability that can happen to people with intense social anxiety, who kept wishing they could take something back. One sentence a day. That's all the power gives you. Say something awkward? Rewind. Overshare? Rewind. Answer too honestly? Rewind. Everyone else forgets? You don't. You remember both versions, what you said and what you meant to say. A bad effect for people who have this is that the rewind doesn't raise anxiety, it sharpens it further. A lot of people with this ability save the rewind all day. They rehearse conversations in their head, deciding which sentence might be worth undoing. Some end up never using it at all, because the fear of undoing a sentence, but saying something worse later in the day, is on their minds. So I'll leave people with this. The worst sentences aren't the ones you say wrong. It's the ones you wanted to say, but never could. So if you could rewind one sentence a day, would you fix what you said? Or leave it be? They say when a dying warrior smiles, someone else dies too. This is known as the warrior's smile, a rare phenomenon said to occur only at the edge of death, when someone is fatally wounded and chooses to smile as their final act. The one who caused their death will suddenly collapse, as if struck by an unseen force. 3 conditions must be met. The dying must know their death is certain. Their killer must see the smile. And most importantly, the dying must truly believe in what they fought for. It's said some tribes and civilizations train their warriors to never look their enemies in the eyes as they strike, just to avoid the smile. What if there was a shadowy figure standing beside you at night and it asked, "Who are you? Where are you from?" If you answer truthfully, it consumes your consciousness, but if you lie, you live. They call it vranug, sometimes vrang. An anomaly that only listens to lies. Lies keep you safe. Truth feeds it, even though it looks like a shadow. Its body feels real, flesh and bone. You can strike it, but it won't fight back. Only truth makes it move. It appears at night, especially to those who lie often. But that's the problem. The more of a liar you are, the more it wants you. It will follow you, whispering questions until you tell the truth, or until it finds someone who lies more than you. It can't appear in crowds, so stay near people, stay in the light, and above all, never tell it who you really are. A being that can be attached to you if you call them your friend. They will even be your bestest friend you will ever have, and they will do their best to is a being that wanders around cities and looking for a friend. They look human in every shape and form. They even talk like us. They can guise as your coworker, a classmate, or even just a lost kid. But whenever they ask, and you agree, they will never leave you alone. When you're alone, they will always be there stalking you. They can't keep their human forms at night, so they start to look something inhumane. A humanoid monster with a huge disjointed mouth. They will never harm you, and as a matter of fact, they will even protect you from the shadows and make sure you won't see them. Will you become friends with it? What if you could replace anyone in your life? There's an old legend about the clay people, said to be one of the first forms of humanity. They're found near an enchanted river, where the riverbed's clay is unlike any other. If you mold that clay into the shape of a human, and then leave it where someone spends most of their time, their bed, their chair, even a spot in their home, then after a day, it will move, it will breathe, it will become them. But it won't be them, because the first thing it does is find its original and try to erase them. Some people are born with their own department store. There's 1 in a billion phenomenon called the department store pocket dimension. Those who have it are born connected to a massive mall. Inside it, time is frozen. Every product inside reflects the year they were born, and none of it ever expires. The shelves never restock. Once an item is gone, it's gone forever. They can bring one person with them, but most don't, because in this place, time stands still. Some people even choose to spend their final moments here, walking the aisles forever under flickering lights. Would you visit your own department store, or would you get lost in it? What if you could remove your own eye and send it 5 years into the future? They called it the Arpagos ceremony, an ancient ritual where a chosen volunteer would dig out their own eye and place it into a sacred machine that kept it alive forever. That eye could see exactly 5 years and 5 months ahead, half of their vision in the present, and the other half peering into the future. The ritual was meant to protect entire civilizations from disaster, but in modern times the machine was rediscovered and optimized. Now multiple people hold these eyes at once, and each one protected by a secret organization that sells future information to the highest bidder. If you could see 5 years ahead, would you sacrifice an eye for it? What if you met something that made your world flip upside down? Literally, Semtra, a being from an inverted version of our dimension, a place where everything, from gravity to thought, flows backward. When they appear, your mind starts to twist. You speak in reverse. You walk backward without meaning to. The world turns upside down, and worst of all, you start doing the opposite of what you intend. Semtra carries with them the leftover laws of their world. Physics, time, and thought bleeding into ours like oil in water. It's said if we ever visited their world, we'd be the ones causing chaos. In their eyes, we are the anomaly. In old writings, a familiar is not just a companion, it's a bond. Deeper than blood, older than any magic. When a pact is formed, your lives intertwine. Your heartbeats sync, your fates mirror each other. If you die, they die. If they die, you vanish with them. But in exchange, you inherit their essence, their instincts, their abilities, even fragments of their soul. A pact with a wolf gives you its ferocity, a crow its cunning. Some even have bound themselves to spirits, gaining unnatural awareness. Yet, among all familiars, there's one so rare and so fragile that even legends fear it. The amphibran, a translucent jelly-like creature that once ruled the minds of living beings. Its ancestors could bend creatures to their will, but now it drifts brainless in shallow enchanted pools. Forming a pact with the amphibran grants the ancient ability to control others, but it comes at an impossible cost. The amphibran's body is weak, trembling even at the change in temperature. One wrong breath and it could die from stress, and if it dies, you die instantly. Many tried to wield its power. Most never made it past the first night. Those who did were never the same again. What if your sweat could melt through your own skin? There's an ancient knife rusted beyond recognition, but that rust isn't ordinary. It carries something alive, a bacteria known as PR702. It can only survive on that rust unless it infects you. Once inside, it hides within your skin, feeding on other bacteria, and what it releases in return turns your sweat into acid. In the first week, you'll think it's just a fever. By the third, dark circles appear across your body. And after a month, every drop of sweat can burn through flesh. Some victims were even reported to steam before melting. That is why it's sometimes said that people who are infected are cooked. What if you were born cursed to live in slow motion? Not like the Flash or Quicksilver, not speed but perception. For you, time itself drags endlessly. A second could feel like a minute, an hour like a year. You move normally, your body functions the same, but your mind experiences every moment distorted. Those born with this curse often go mad. Their bodies age faster from the stress. Every heartbeat, a marathon of thought. But some were born this way. Their brains adapted, never knowing what normal time feels like. They live unaware they're trapped in eternity until someone tests them. Some believe mild versions of this exist, where time feels slightly slower than everyone else. You wouldn't even notice. Thank you for listening, everyone. Those were the latter half of the year's science fiction shorts. If you want more, comment down below if you want a part 2. And again, thank you.